Hello, everybody. On behalf of the Lobby Observer, welcome back to another season of Full Court Press. I'm your host, Alec DesRosiers, and I'm joined with
Jared Silverman,
Brady Chapman,
Jordan Lasoff,
Justin Goldberg, Jack Peterson.
Full Court Press is a show at WHS where we break down all things rec basketball. So without further ado, let's get into our preseason rankings. So first, we all agreed to rank all these teams after seeing the draft boards. So with the first ranking at the 12th spot, we all agreed on Team Grasso. So why don't we guys talk about why they deserve the 12th spot?
All right. I'll start us off with Team Grasso. Team Grasso actually lost their first round pick recently due to Jordan. Actually, he couldn't make their practices, so he got traded. So Jordan's a senior, a lot of rec ball experience. They're just young.
Yeah.
They're young.
Yeah,
they're a young team.
They're a young team. I got all the faith in the world in Grasso. I'm sad that I couldn't be a part of it this year. I think they got a great squad, good coach, and a great culture around them. I just work on Tuesdays, and I'm sorry I just couldn't make it.
Justin, what do you think?
Yeah, I think it was perfectly said by both Jared and Jordan. They're young, they're inexperienced, and that's why they got the 12th spot for my rankings.
So last year we had Team Tremblay ranked at 12, right?
Yeah.
And we said that the reason why they wouldn't succeed in rec basketball was because they're young. Do you think Team Grasso could have an opportunity to kind of live like that Cinderella story that Team Tremblay lived last year, Jack? What do you think?
Yeah, you never know. Since we all have them at ranking 12, if they come out there and upset a lot of people, that'll be a Cinderella story for sure.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so at the 11th spot, we all agreed on, well, it was kind of a draw between Team Dvas and Last Burrow. So, Brady, what do you think about Team Dvas? Have you seen it?
I will say their team also, along with Grasso, is just a bit underexperienced. They only have, it appears one senior, Logan Much. But
Yeah.
Well,
I have played basketball with him before in the past, on travel basketball, but that was only in 8th grade. And, I haven't seen him in rec since, so, I can't really give much thought on that. But, their team, again, looks inexperienced, similar to Grasso's team.
Reports are coming out of Team, sorry if I mispronounce this, but Gervais.
I think it's Dvas.
Gervais. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing this, but rumors are coming out of Gervais' camp that Logan Much is requesting a trade.
I heard about this. I heard he's not going to practices. He's not even going to play for the team if he's not on Calderoni. He's trying to force his way out of this team, and I think it's a big controversy to start the season with. It just ruins the culture.
Exactly.
Especially as like a first-round pick, and you requesting a trade immediately. That's not what this team needs. So
Yeah.
starting off the season like that.
Do you think you're starting a trend in this rec ball league? Do you think we're going to see more trades from the superstars in the first and second round leaving their teams just because they don't want to play for them?
Yeah.
I understand your situation because you have work, but other players like Logan Much, do you think this is okay for them to leave the team that they were initially drafted on?
I think as a great player like myself, I think you should just try to play for the winning team, and if they're not going to give me the tools to win and win a championship, I don't really want to play for that team. I'm not going to lie.
So you kind of sound like LeBron James.
Yeah, I'll be taking my talents to Team Meyer this season.
Justin, what do you think about Team Dvas?
Yeah, they're young, they're inexperienced. Similar to Grasso, honestly, I don't know a ton of the players, the underclassmen, on a bunch of these teams. So that's why, my rankings, like 12, 11, 10, they're there. A lot of the reason is just I don't know who they are. They're young, they're inexperienced. And yeah, so we'll get into more of the older players later and why I have their teams higher up.
I really do think it just comes down to Logan if he plays or not, because he's a sniper. He's, what is he, 6'2", 6'3"?
He's scary. He's
Yeah.
also scary.
And he can shoot the ball.
He's scary as hell, I'm not going to lie.
So if he
That brother's
plays,
scary.
I still don't think one kid, though, is going to be, the difference of, making the playoffs and not. Obviously, it's a big loss for Logan.
Everyone
but
makes the playoffs.
But I also
Come on. It's okay, it's your first rec season, we get it.
All right, but making a run to the championship, I don't think, even if they do have Logan, I really don't see them going that far. But
You were Logan's
they
teammate
can
last
move
year,
on.
Jordan, right?
Yeah, we were just a great duo.
Yeah.
Both of us could stroke that thing from
Yeah,
deep. And
okay.
it was a great team, Team Calderoni last year. And I think, honestly, any team he's going to be on is going to be made a lot better by him.
Do you see that this trade's potentially going to go through at all? Do you think that Logan Much will actually leave the team that he was drafted on to go to Team Calderoni?
I mean, I think it would be pretty hard to do.
Pretty hard to do.
Pretty hard to do.
Yeah, what do you think about it? You're on Team Calderoni yourself.
I
So
mean-
what is your aspiration to see Logan Much come on your team? Do you think, how well are you guys going to be able to play with Logan Much after leaving his team?
I mean, let me set the scene for everyone here. Me, top ball handler in the league,
Okay.
dribbling down the court, cross, beat the first guy, drive, kick out to Logan, 3-pointer. He's stroking that thing.
Was that a shot at Justin, top ball handler?
Top. He heard
Yeah,
me.
all right,
I know he
well.
heard me.
All right, well, I have Jordy 1 in my ranking, so we'll have to get
Hey,
to
we'll
that
get there
later.
later. We'll get there later.
All right, so for team that we also tied with Team Dvas was Team Last Burrow. So why did we all agree to put Last Burrow at Team 10 as well?
I mean, just getting started. As a guy who's been in rec for a long time, this is Team Last.
Yeah.
Team Last, almost always last. They have a lot of fun every season. They're a fun team to play against. They get very into it. They just never seem to win games. That's not something they do very often.
What do you think, Hunter Burrow's role on this team is? Being, obviously his name is on the team. So what accomplishments or what weight does he have to pick up to bring this team to the next level?
I mean, that name's prolific around the league. Hunter Burrow, you get scared when you see that name against, playing against your team. He's a good player.
Yeah.
He's a good player.
I think he's got to be a dog out there.
He definitely has.
I think he's got to set hard screens, get some boards.
Yeah, I mean, boards, screens, and if he can start developing a shot, it's over for the league.
And then you pair it up with Eric Lass, who's just a complete psycho. And he won't shut up in class. I mean, that guy, he's
a smart one, though.
He's very smart, but he's got a lot of energy to him. So I feel like he could be a force on defense, especially in
Eric
close
Lass,
games too.
Non-stop energy. I mean, that kid doesn't get tired. That kid could play 12 quarters of basketball and do the same thing he's doing.
Talk about energy. I mean, they drafted Zane, I see, right?
Yeah, Zane was their first-round pick.
And I mean, that guy dribbles like he's Kyrie Irving, almost
Zane
all the
Irving?
time. Yeah.
Zane Irving. Yeah.
I mean, just get ready for a double clutch, triple spin layup from the 3-point line.
That team,
Those are the kinds of shots.
Zane, the possession ends here.
I mean, Zane's one of those guys where it's like, as a coach, it's the no, yes. Like he'll do some crazy move, and you're like, what's going on here? What is this move? And then he hits it.
Yeah.
And then you're like, what did I do wrong on defense?
Yeah,
How is Zane hitting
not
the
the
shot?
highest IQ player, I'll say it, but he's got some skill. He does have some skill, and he can
Goldie,
make
so
some
if you were to
noise plays.
1v1 him, are you taking yourself over him every single time? Do you think you lack traits that he's better at than you, or do you think that you're just an overall dominant player?
You're putting me in a tough spot here right now.
I'm just asking.
If my life's on the line and I'm playing Zane one-on-one, I'm taking myself.
Okay.
I am.
What's the score?
Yeah.
Game to 11. What's the score?
Game to 11. Zane, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. I'm gonna go 11-2.
Oh hell no, man.
Is this going to
All
start?
right, let's
potential
move on.
This
I feel like
could-
tensions are
this
going
could
high.
start-
This
this could
is
start
something we can
something.
say for future weeks to come. So those two teams that were actually tied in our rankings, right? So what team would you put over the other team? We got the 9 and 10th seed. So what, or 9 or 10 and 11 seed? What team would we put over each other? Would you put Last Burrow or Dvas over?
Well, I think Last Burrow would probably be higher on my
better
ranking,
team?
just because.
Okay.
I mean, I just feel like the
agree.
work ethic and what I've seen from some
Okay.
of those guys from other sports. So.
Yeah. So at the 9 spot we have Team Nelson Breen. So two familiar faces, great coaches. We know the kids very well.
We do.
Breen goes to St. John, so we don't see him every single day, but we definitely see Team Nelly here. So why do you think we guys put this at spot 9?
Tyler Nelson, great golfer, great on the links, but I don't really know how that.
He should stick to it.
Yeah, I don't know how
stick
it
to
flows into basketball. And you got Breen. I mean, that guy, he's huge, big body. But again, I don't know if he's got the skill, finish at the rim and stuff like that. So we'll definitely see if they can upset some teams this year.
Yeah. What do you think about it, Brady?
I mean, I don't know. Again, T. Nelly,
Hey, don't disrespect.
better golfer than a basketball player. I mean, great
he has
kid.
been in the system for 2 years.
He
though.
has been,
He has
yeah.
been in the system. He's been
Yep.
under great coaches.
So I'm not hating on them.
Yeah.
Just,
I mean, their first round pick, Jay Brew is what the kids call him. His name's Jack Biddle, but he's large. He's a big guy. I mean,
he gets
he's
a lot of
6'2",
rebounds.
rebounds. He's a
Very
as
athletic.
Jordan likes to say, he can stroke that thing.
Yeah.
He's a good player.
Jack and Will Breen at the two bigs down low.
Yeah.
I actually do think they could upset some teams. I know we have them at 9 right now, but I wouldn't be surprised if they made a little run. But I just don't think they have a consistent score. I think that's what differentiates a lot of these teams. A lot of teams have like a go-to guy. You need a bucket,
Yeah.
and I don't think Nelson Breen has that.
Okay.
Well
All right.
said.
Yeah, for the next spot we have this is for spot 8, right? So we have Martin McCarthy, 6.833. A lot of the matchups match with each other, so this is actually another tie between Martin McCarthy and also Friedberg Esta right now. And no, actually we have Kaplan at 7.8. So Kaplan will come in at the next spot. So why do we guys put Kaplan at 7.8?
Kaplan, they have their first round pick, Thomas Cashman.
Yeah.
Big guy, great athlete.
Yeah.
Should be doing a lot for them.
Yeah.
The rest of the team, I don't really know a lot of these kids. I think it could be very surprising to see what happens. I think we're kind of entering the territory in these rankings where, like, anyone can beat anyone. I think, it's just whoever comes out to play the most. And I know Thomas Cashman always comes out to play, so just if the rest of the team can, if the coaching's good, these are first-year coaches, I think this could be a pretty good team.
Pretty good team.
Yeah, they also have Alex Donovan. I mean, I just got a quick story time. I was on the course one time. Me and Jack actually were on the course. I might have shot my worst round ever with Alex Donovan. He was in my head.
I think he took some money from you too, actually.
I think he took some money from you as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because I was paired with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other way around. But basically, he can talk. Like, I mean, he can shoot in basketball, but I mean, his best attribute is his trash talking. I mean,
Do you think that
he
could hurt
gets
the
in my
team as
head.
well?
What?
Maybe that hurts the team as well.
It might, but I mean, if the fellas like it on the team, then it's going to be good for them.
good.
I mean, if I can recall, he was on Team Calderoni last year, correct?
He was.
And I think that really helped them too, his trash talk. It gave energy to the rest of their team.
I think, when you go back into a huddle and you hear what Alex Donovan's talking about, you go, all right, I got to play better because, this kid's going to start talking about me, and I don't want that to happen. I can't be missing my shots. I can't be missing my layups. I mean, he just makes a team better. He's a good talker. He's going to get in the other team's head, and I mean, he himself, he can ball. He can ball. He was a good shooter. He's a good dribbler, good passer, great player.
Yeah. All right, the next spot we have Martin McCarthy coming in. I think this could be a great team. I put him up in my ranks because I feel like they have like the depth that they need. Max Martin is a great basketball player. We've seen it in the past, and he's a big guy. He is. He's a zone bottom of the zone anchor. He plays great defense, and Connor McCarthy. Their duo is great. I'm pretty sure they're like best friends with each other. So the team chemistry is definitely there. Great defense on this team as well. So they're gonna be a problem in the league for some of those good offenses. What do you guys think about it?
Yeah, Jared, you played on Martin last year, right?
I did, yeah.
How does that system, play into this year?
I mean, Coach Martin, great coach, great guy, great coach. He taught us some guys on the team last year need to learn the fundamentals of just basketball straight up. But as the year got on, we got a little we got some plays in. We actually drew up a couple plays towards the end, which led to our playoff run. I believe we were 8 seed. We got to the Final Four and we lost. And we lost to Team Tarzia last year. It was an unfortunate ending. We almost won, but yeah. I mean, playing with Team Martin is it's always fun. I mean, they got a good team. Like they're big. Like look at these guys. Ari Jane might be one of the biggest kids in the high school. Then they got James Berry, pretty big kid, linebacker.
Yeah, committed athlete.
Yeah, James Berry committed
Thursday.
athlete. I believe he's kind of like Alec compared him last year to Josh Giddey. He's like
No, I think that was Max.
that was Max.
Yeah, I compared.
Well, I can
What's
see
his
it.
name?
can
I
see that
mean,
comparison.
James Berry is like a really good player. I mean, he's physical, he's dominant, and I mean, to compare him, like he's a good power forward, kind of
Yeah.
like Karl Malone was back in the 90s. I mean,
Yeah.
he just plays physical, and he's he'll be really good in this league.
Yeah.
And I think for this team, he's a great addition.
To me, it all comes down to Ari. I know Ari missed last year's rec season, so it all depends what he's going to do. He's tall, probably the tallest player in all of rec basketball. So if he can go out there, be big for this team. Obviously, as Jared said, Martin, great coach. I think they have a chance to go pretty far.
All right, so the next spot we got coming in is Team Friedberg Esta. So I'm gonna let you talk about it first because Ben Friedberg and you have a great relationship. So I want to know what place you would put him in the rankings.
So let me check real quick. Friedberg Esta. I actually had them at 8.
Yeah.
So my issue with Friedberg Estefan is they don't have a true guard to bring the ball up the court.
Yeah.
They got Nate Schmidt. Nate Schmidt was a dog last year. That kid's
Yeah.
a dog. They got Meebom. Meebom's a great defender. They're great on defense. Ben. Also Ben. Speaking of scary dudes, I mean, you just take one look at Ben, you're like, wow, this kid's scary, like on the court.
Ben Friedberg, great basketball player, but I wouldn't even compare him to a basketball player. His NBA comparison is John Jones. I mean, this kid, he's coming in, he wants violence, he wants a big, a low-scoring game where he's just in the paint, getting boards, putting it up, and making everyone miserable.
Draymond Green, I think, would be a fair comparison.
I was actually walking up to lunch with Alex today, and I was asking about what his draft process was when he was drafting the team. He says, well, I wanted to draft players that could, work around me. He says, I wanted to build a team all around me, because he said he wants to be the starting point guard on that team. And I was asking him why he picked certain people or how he saw them, their team working out. He says, well, I want to be the floor general. I don't want to be bringing up the ball, and I want to have shooters next to me. I want to be able to work around me. So looks like he has a clear foundation of how he wants his team to perform this year. And I think he's very, a selfish player, I want to say. I don't want to go too far, but I want to say he wants kids working around him. So he might be the, the floor general one taking initiative this year.
That's a lot of confidence from another classman right there.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to respect it.
Maybe that mentality could set them up for something big this season.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah, I mean, I have them at the 5. I think, like everyone said, they're aggressive. They're going to play great defense. Going to win those loose balls, and that's why. But I just don't think they have that score, and I know we talked about that earlier, but I don't think they have someone. Obviously, Nathaniel Smith, I think, was their first-round pick. He's a very good player. But I don't know if they have a guy that they can go to when they need a bucket.
Is that all for that one? Or do you want anything to say more about it?
Nah, man, they're the A spot. I mean,
All right.
who's scoring for them? I mean,
I
Ben
have
Friedberg,
them
though.
at the 5th.
I mean, Ben Friedberg, he tells the story all the
He
time.
might get
about-
more fouls in a game than points, though. So
I mean, he's going to foul out every game.
I mean, they'll be winning games like 20-15, maybe.
It's going to be a low-scoring game.
yeah,
All
if
right.
the 3 best players are all sick, then yeah, they got it.
So after Team Friedberg, we got Team Cormier coming in. Will Cormier, actually a great basketball player. He was one of my campers in summer camp. He's a great basketball player. Great coach team as well. He has a lot of, chemistry on his team. He actually was trying out for the varsity basketball team. He's a great player. I saw him stand out in tryouts. So how do you think that he can translate, competing with some of the better kids in the school and bring that to the rec foundation and bring it to his team? Like, how do you think that he can, make an impact against some of these older teams?
Will, yeah. I mean, I've never seen. They call him. What do they call him? Sniper Willie?
Yeah, no, yeah.
He's Sniper Willie, right?
No, but he's a great basketball player. But who else is on that team? Who's on?
They got Mauricio Fonte.
Mauricio
Fonte.
I think that's
Mauricio
the reason why they're so
so-
high up
yeah.
in the rankings. Mauricio, obviously we'll get to it later, but definitely a candidate for MVP.
Yeah.
So I think that's a big reason why
you can even say defensive player of the year as well. He's
potentially.
a dog on defense.
I mean, the varsity basketball coach, Coach Willer, actually ranked him to be one of the, I think, the best player in rec basketball. So
The best player in rec basketball.
let's see if Mauricio can live up to it. I mean, he's just tenacious on both offense and defense.
Okay. What do you guys think about it?
I mean, yeah, we played soccer with him, me and Jared, this fall. And he's a really good defender. He's really aggressive. So I think that if that translates into basketball, he'll be really good for them.
Yeah.
What do you think, Justin?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's an athletic kid. He's definitely going to lead this team. They need him 100%. So if he goes down with an injury or vacation or for whatever reason isn't at the games, they will be in trouble. But with him, he's such a dominant player that I do think they're deserving of a higher seed.
Okay. So after Will Cormier's team, we got Team Meyer. Who's the first pick on Team Meyer? It was
Noah Nurse.
Noah Norse. He had a great season last season, I want to say for myself. He had great defense. He's a two-way player. He can go on offense and defense. He pushes the floor. What team was he on last year? He was on Tremblay.
He was on Tremblay.
Yeah, Tremblay. We saw that full court press that they had, and they put the big kids at the top of the court. Noah's a very versatile center. I feel like he can play multiple positions, be able to score from multiple positions. So that's a threat for other teams because he can guard, these 3, the 4s, and the 5s, and which I like because Noah Nurse is probably going to be a top 5 player this league this year. I want to say that. I think that his game can translate on offense and defense on the playmaking scheme, and then he can get all of his other teammates involved. What do you guys think about this one?
I mean, we also say that he's a center and he's a big, but he can also blow by other defenders if they're slower, and he's got a very good shot. So I think you pair that up with guys like Ian Campbell and even Brendan Pan, who's actually not a bad basketball player.
Yeah.
I feel like some of these guys around Noah will be it'll be a very hard team to stop. So
Yeah.
I mean, Jordan, these are your boys.
I mean, this is my
Come
team
on, talk
now.
about it real quick.
Team Meyer is where it's at. I think, these boys, we're ready to play. We're ready to compete. And, if we don't win a championship this year, then it's a failure.
What about next year?
I'm not taking another year.
I feel like I'm kind of comparing this team to like the LA Clippers, the super team. They got Kawhi Leonard, they got Paul George, but they didn't really perform. You know what I mean?
I mean, who's Kawhi Leonard? Who's Paul George?
You could say you're James Harden when you say that's a fair comparison.
Hey, I'm blushing, man. That's nice.
We also we got Will Annenberg on this team.
Dog.
Will Annenberg's actually a good basketball player.
Played travel back in the day.
Back in the day,
Back
that
in the
was
day.
Good handle. He's a really good handle.
He's a great shot too.
Yeah.
I mean, this team's just full of snipers. All these guys on the team can stroke it from anywhere.
Yeah.
Including yourself?
I agree.
What about you?
I could stroke it
So-
from half court.
So you're on this podcast. I want to know what's your aspirations for yourself. What are some of your personal goals? We've been talking about like on a team note, and you've been a very humble individual right now. I want you to, talk about more of your, personal satisfactions that would help your season go the best you can.
I mean, what I can do to help the season go as best as it can.
Yeah, I want to hear that.
I mean,
one.
I think if the ball's in my hand, the season's going to go great.
Yeah.
I think that's all I can do is I got to be shooting shots. I got to be, leading the team.
Yeah.
But on a serious note, I think this is a great team through and through. I mean, we got Noah, we got Ian, we got Will, and then there's a bunch of other kids that I haven't really talked to yet who will all, probably be up to the standards. So it should be a great season.
It should be a great season. So the next team, we got Team Doherty coming in. So Justin Goldberg right here, first overall pick. This is your team. I want you to talk first. Why do you think that you guys should be the 1 spot and not the 3 spot right now?
All right, so I'll make it pretty quick, but Team Doherty, obviously Matt Doherty's the head coach of this team.
Yeah.
Played varsity basketball, one of the best varsity players from Westboro in a long time. So I think he's my prediction for Coach of the Year. We'll get there later, but we have a great coach. We have some underclassmen. Greg Bouchard I really like.
Yeah.
I like Cam Kaufman, 2 potential underclassmen player, and then obviously, former varsity player myself. Feel like we're a pretty talented team. We have underclassmen. We have a head coach.
Yeah.
We got a good star. So,
All right.
Yeah.
We're just going to move on to the next one because, we're running on a time sake. No, we're running on a time sake because we want to get to the, our preseason awards. So, at the 2 spot, we have Team Calderoni coming in. So, I want to ask why you boys want to have Team Calderoni coming in. Last season they had a Cinderella run in their playoffs because, they had, Logan Much, they had Jordan on the team, they had Emilio. They made this run that, people didn't think they could make. They were like, what seed were you guys?
I think we were last. I mean,
Last
we
seed.
were just. It was a great coach team. I mean, Team Calderoni's up here for a reason. It's not only the players on the team like Jared, like Will Lake, but it's that coaching staff.
It is that coaching staff.
Calderoni and Lake, these guys know ball. These guys are great coaches. I played for them 2 years, and I mean, both years, we've had a lot of fun, but we've also won some games. We've won some big games too.
Big games, yeah. What do you think about it? You're on this team.
I mean, I'll keep this short and sweet.
Short and sweet.
Jared Silverman, dog. Will
Dog.
Lake, dog. Emilio Calderoni, dog. Oh, Zach Lusick, dog. I
Okay.
mean, Zach Lusick, who's going to get a rebound on Zach?
Yeah.
Me.
Oh. Okay.
And I'm Larry Bird. And I'm Larry Bird.
All right.
All right. At the 1 spot, we have none other than Altman-Bartlett. So why did this team deserve the 1 spot?
I mean, Cole Altman. Rec's all about who can shoot the ball the best. Cole Altman is a sniper, and he's 6'1", 6'2". Let's be generous. Let's be nice.
Okay.
6'2". Then they got Maluk, fell to them to the end of the first round. I mean, that was a steal.
that was a huge
Maluk,
defensive menace.
Luke, defensive menace, and he can drive to the rack. I mean, he's going to get his 2 shots and the foul every single time. I mean, they got
Bartlett.
Nikola Jokic, Ben Bartlett. I mean, that guy can stretch the floor. He's a paint beast. Kind of plays like Nikola Jokic.
They got the best trio in the league, I think.
I think so too.
Yeah.
And going back to Cole, I'm good friends with him, and he's been talking about this season these past couple of weeks, and he really thinks that they have a really good team, and he thinks he's going to go far in the playoffs and eventually win a championship, and he's very confident in his play and his team's play, so we'll just have to see how that
No.
goes.
I really like this trio. I really do. I like Cole, bringing up the ball. He's a confident human being,
He's
right?
confident.
Coming off of playing varsity last year and being in the Westbrook basketball system for his entire high school career, I want to say that he's coming into this acting like he's 2018 Braun, right? He's going to be taking every single shot, but I also like his addition with Ben Bartlett because Ben Bartlett was a great player last year, and I definitely top runner for the most improved player this year, and he could have a breakout season. And I like that their chemistry is so well because they can, feed off of each other, right? If, Cole's not having a great game, he can always pass to Ben Bartlett in 3, right? Nikola Jokic, we want to say, right? So I really like this trio and how they can, add up together and, their chemistry. That's what's going to win them games.
To me, it's all about Cole. I think obviously Cole has aspirations to win MVP, win a championship, but he has to do this by moving the ball. And if he decides to play hero ball and take 35 shots a game, they're not going to win.
Yeah,
they're not. So he has to move the ball. Maluk's a talented player. Great, that's a huge steal. Maluk should not have been later in the first, in my eyes.
And you can say Ben Bartlett, his basketball IQ is through the roof. I mean,
Exactly.
he's helping out with the JV basketball team at the high school, and he's had a lot of experience even coaching over there.
Yeah.
So just using him to their advantage would be something that
he's an athletic human being, man. He plays football. He's always at BAC on those Tuesday open runs, and he always does a great job. So I like Maluk's also. His role on this team is to be, I think, more of a defense type of player, but also that can translate to the offense, like a 3-and-D type player. Because I don't think Cole Altman's going to be playing much defense this year. That's just me. I think he might be sitting in half court half some of the time. Yeah, highlight blocks some of the times, but I think that most of his game is just going to come from the offensive
He'll
standpoint.
get some highlight blocks, but then there'll also be some
it's cute.
awful
It's
fouls
cute.
too. So
Yeah.
I think
cute.
that too, man. I mean, Bartlett and Cole Altman, it's going to be good. I mean, pick and pop with Bartlett. I think he's kind of like Scalabrini in a way. He's shooting ability.
Yeah, I agree. All right, so that kicks it off for the first episode today. Catch us after break. We'll be discussing preseason awards, so MVP, DPOY, Coach of the Year, and all other that. And we're also going to be talking about the first week matchups, and we're going into depth about who's playing who and what team's going to come out on top. So thank you guys for tuning in to the next episode. Signing off.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
HIJK.
LMNOP.
QRS.
XYZ.
Messed up the alphabet.